Hello again, and so let's start. So, for practice, I will be talking about the task that I'm doing in my company, and like I will explain what I'm currently doing and what I want to achieve, and what are the things that I have to figure out, and all these things about that particular task. So, let's start. So currently, I have one feature to do, and that is developing a library that will use another library. So it is a kind of wrapper on a library, and that will be used by other services. So let's go through this. The library, the wrapper, the library that I will be using is AWS CDK. So this is library provided by AWS, like not, I think it's not provided by AWS, but yeah, it's a library to create AWS infrastructure. And that is a that is a generic library, so that anyone can use it. But for our project specific, we will be using this generic library, and we will create a wrapper around it and do some customization, so that customized AWS CDK library will be used by the developers, and to deploy resources on AWS. So why do we need to customize it? So the reason is we have, there are some configuration that are required, or that are always be needed when we will be creating a resource. And there are some configuration or parameters that are needed to pass, and there are some parameters that are fixed and that will not change. So in place of developer passing or passing this configuration or parameter again and again, uh, when if they use the normal generic AWS CDK library, they have to pass this configuration and this parameter again and again. And to just overcome this, we will be creating a wrapper library. So there, the parameters or the configuration that are fixed and that are needed, that will be passed by default. So developer don't have to pass that value again in their service, like wherever they are, from where they will be uh, creating this, from where they will be creating this resource. So this is the task or feature that I am currently developing. So if you don't know about like me myself know about that, but whoever will watch this sometime, or I don't know, if you don't know about AWS CDK, what is AWS CDK, I will just explain it a little. So maybe this will also be helpful if I have to try to explain it to someone face to face. So let's go like this. So we have different uh, tools to create AWS resources on AWS. So AWS resources means the features or the things that AWS provide, like computing power, database, storage. So for all these things, AWS has certain resources with different types and different categories. So when we want to create these resources on AWS, we have different tools. So we can directly create it from AWS console, or we can do it using AWS CLI. Then we have cloud formation deployment directly to the AWS. That is a template that contains the configuration for all the resources, and we can deploy it directly to the AWS. So there are some several tools, and then we have uh, no, not AWS. We have a way of serverless. There is serverless, we can say, framework, that is again a kind of wrapper for of AWS tools. So that is easy. That will help developers to easily deploy resources. So, and then there is this way of AWS using a library, AWS CDK. So full form of it is nothing but Amazon Web Services, AWS, and then CDK is Cloud Development Kit. So it's simple cloud development kit. So what it has is, it has some packages or some uh, functions or code that we can import, and using that code we can create the resources on AWS. So obviously we have to first provide the credential of AWS account that we will be using for the library to connect to the AWS, and then we can just there is a CLI tool also for this particular AWS CDK. So one is like it's like we have AWS CDK lib and we have AWS CDK CLI. So using the CLI we can deploy this AWS CDK lib code. And one thing there is like it's like it's a lib since it's a library, so it has been provided for different languages. So it is for JavaScript also, and it is for Python, and I think other languages go. I think there are several languages, so there are different libraries according to the language. So we can use any language, and we have different libraries respective to the language. So currently the library that I'm using, it's in JavaScript. It's a TypeScript library and Node.js library. We have to be uh, exact. So I will be using this library, and the code obviously it will be in uh, JavaScript. And to be precise, again, it will be TypeScript. It will be transpiled to the JavaScript when we compile it. So okay, so the things that I have currently done for this library is like the base setup for that library is done. I have implemented Lambda, customized Lambda, like using this library. We or I have implemented this Lambda, and kind of the Lambda is ready. Just we have to add more section to that part. When I say section, it means like now the code for creating a Lambda is ready, and with all the customization and fixed parameters that I was talking about before. So user can just create a new Lambda. He or she has to provide some dynamic or not, dynamic configuration that should be provided at runtime, or that should be provided when when they want to deploy the resource, and there are some configuration that is fixed, so that will be applied background in the library. So this is the part that has been done. The part that is left is uh, there's like to trigger a Lambda. If you know, to trigger Lambda we have to have a event that will trigger a Lambda. So for event there can be several events like ALB, SQS, S3. So in our project we mainly use three events. A Lambda can be triggered from SQS, a Lambda can be triggered from S3, or it can be triggered from an ALB. So for the ALB part, it is done like the trigger or the wrapper function for the Lambda to be triggered from ALB, it has been done. And from S3 also it has been done. So the code for attaching a S3 bucket to the Lambda, it has also been done. What left is SQS, or maybe SNS also we can implement, but it is not being used much in our project. So now mainly the SQS is left, and this has been done. And there are some other help, several other than Lambda and this trigger part. uh, there are some helper function that has been developed, like to fetch subnets from AWS using VPC. There are like small helper function that will be used in different resources that will be creating, like it has been used in Lambda also, and it will be used in other resources also. And yeah, the helper functions has been developed. And now what I have to continue, or what I have to develop or code is the customized ECS resource. So mainly in our project we used Lambda and ECS mainly, so our computing or for the computing things, for this server for running an application on AWS. Mainly these are the two one, and there are some application, not some application, there are some services that are running on EC2, but we will see that later. But currently I have to write a code for this customized ECS service, and that I will be doing starting from Monday, like tomorrow. And for that I have to kind of plan like what are the things that will be customized. Like it is ongoing. Last Friday I have planned something, but it should be planned more properly, and like what other things should be customized, and how the developer will be calling, like what function the developer should call, and what is the abstraction that we want to achieve, to be precise, like how much freedom we have to give the developer to customize this ECS. So there are some fixed things that the library will automatically uh, uh, push through this resource, and there are some things that needed to be decided, like whether this should be customized, or this should be taken care by the developer, or this should be taken care by the library. And okay, so if I go deep in ECS, like the plan, if I just discuss it with myself now, the plan. So we on ECS there are two types of, uh, I think, task we can configure. There is one Fargate, and other one I forgot Fargate. Nice. But the one that will be using is the Fargate one only. So we have to be more focused on that. I will see like the what's the other one, but yeah, for now. And for ECS Fargate, so last time when I was just exploring this AWS CDK library, what all the functions or it has, or what are the construct. So in AWS CDK terms, construct is a building block. So everything that we will be creating or deploying to AWS, we will call it a construct. Lambda is a construct. Everything is a construct there. So there are several other different functionalities or functions that are being provided by AWS. So if that means we have uh, a construct for ECS definition, like if ECS task definition, and then we have a specific construct for ECS Fargate definition. So either we can use ECS task definition, then we have to configure it as a Fargate, so by providing some property there, or we can, if you want, if we know like it will be a ECS Fargate task definition, we can just use the ECS task definition construct directly. So here I have to check like I am kind of sure like we are using just ECS Fargate, but what if in future we will be using other type of ECS task. So I was thinking like whether I should go with directly the I should go directly with the ECS Fargate implementation, or I should give freedom to the developer to pass the type of ECS task it will be. And I'm not sure correctly like the types that I'm talking about, Fargate and the other one, it is a type of ECS task, or some like or ECS pod, we will say, I container or something like that. ECS service, it is a type of service. But yeah, there are two types we can deploy on ECS. And yeah, this is the plan that I will be approaching, or that I will be executing. And I will try to finish this ECS and this some uh, random function, or random this some helper function by next week. And then yeah, let's see how it will go. So I think that's enough for it for now, and I will close the video now. So bye bye to myself.